Thank you.
Okay, so good evening, good evening, good evening. This is 27th September and I welcome you all. My name is Vivekanand Sharma. I have been part of Beforest since 2020. And in this Zoom session for almost 45 minutes, I'm going to have a monologue with the help of PowerPoint presentation and few reels, which will show glimpse of the work which we are doing in Hyderabad, Coorg, Bhopal, and Mumbai. You heard it right. So we are present in these four locations. So in Coorg we have the three collectives. In Hyderabad we have one, and the second one is about to be launched. In Bhopal we just entered, and Mumbai is in final phase of complete subscription. We are a Hyderabad-based company started by two close friends of mine. They are IIT IIM alumni. So Sunit Reddy is my CEO. He is alumnus of IIT Madras. And Shaurya Chandra is alumnus of IIT Roorkee, and I'm Ahmedabad, and he is CFO and one of the co-founders. About me, I'm also an engineer by qualification. I've done my engineering from Punjab University College, Chandigarh, and I did my MBA from IIM Mumbai, which was known as NITI Mumbai earlier. I have been a banker earlier in my corporate life. So I worked with ICICI Bank at the head office. I worked with HSBC Bank. Last job I had held was HSBC Bank as senior vice president. And then Beforest happened after a few years while I was working as an independent consultant for some time for SMEs to establish their program management offices. So while this session is not about me, this session is about you, and this session is about the future you are envisioning yourself with the community of like-minded people. And that's where let me start with a couple of videos, and I'll just give the glimpse of that. So I may stop this video in between, but these can be shared with you individually if you need it. And that's where I want to show first the water body, which we have created in Hyderabad. So let me just showcase that.
वहाँ डंप किया है, ये जो दिख रहा है ना ड्राई वाला, आपको लग रहा है घास नहीं हुआ है उसमें,
पत्थर लग रहा है।
हाँ नहीं, ये दिख रहा है ना पूरा मट्टी दिख रहा है
ऊपर तक।
हाँ,
पत्थर नहीं है वो।
पत्थर नहीं है, वो मट्टी है। तो इसका मट्टी हमने वहाँ डंप किया है कि कहीं सिविल कंस्ट्रक्शन में कहीं ना कहीं तो काम आएगा।
वो मट्टी है।
हाँ
जिसपे वो पत्तों बिना वाला झाड़ है।
हाँ वो मट्टी है।
Oh, there are many people who are coming, presenting them. And here I go for the another video which showcase the guest house which is under construction in case of Hyderabad. In Coorg, we have a guest house which is operational for last 2.5 years. And
Hi, this is 18th September 2025, and I'm at the location of Hyderabad Collective by Beforest. This is the view which you see when you come and stay here in the guest house. This guest house is getting ready in next 1 quarter, and it's a complete stone look and stone work. Not just look, but stone work as well. And that's a kind of ambience you are going to enjoy when you come to be part of this, to spend a couple of nights. Now let me show you some of the internal work in progress construction.
so that's where I stop this in the benefit of time, and this can be shared with you individually. And here I want to take support of PowerPoint presentation, which I'm going to use for this Zoom session so that I stay on course and we complete the whole of the session in the time which we have decided. So around 45 minutes for me to have the download the complete information for all of you. And then around 30 to 45 minutes it takes for the question answer, but you can drop out whenever you want to drop out. If the whole idea resonates with you, then drop your details with us. Or Somu, I would request you write down my direct mobile number in the chat so you can drop a WhatsApp. So how this is going to happen, that this is the first presentation where you will get an idea about the overall philosophy of the collective at very generic level. These are the unique segments. So you'll get the few aspects which are going to be very clear out of this presentation. That becomes step one. Post this Zoom, process the information, make notes, and post this Zoom. Two outcomes will be there. Either you will say, no, this is not for me, perfectly fine. And you can exit from the WhatsApp group as well if you are part of the WhatsApp group. And option two, that it may resonate with you and then you want to know more detail. Then we'll have the individual Zoom call or audio call with you, where I'll discuss the nut and bolts at the deeper level about all the collectives, including the how collective ownership works, what are the documentation. I'll share the draft of documentation, I'll share the maps, and I'll share the availability. And I'll share the persona also of the people who are going to be your neighbor in the collective of your choice. So here I'm going to give the complete download across all the collectives. That's why it's a generic presentation, generic Zoom session. So that step two is in nut and bolts. And third call, if it still resonates with you, then third call will be highly individual call where you can discuss your cash flows, how payment to be made, what is the payment plan we have. If you need some personalization there with some delta with the cost of capital, that can be discussed out so that you become part of the collective with the incredible people who are part of the community in Bhopal, Hyderabad, Akur, and Mumbai. What kind of incredible people? I'll give you some glimpse today itself, but when we have the call number two as a step two, you'll get more detail about that. So three calls, and you can drop out at any point of time. You can exit from the WhatsApp group at any point of time, and we respect your choices because, in my opinion, this is a lifestyle choice which you have to do first by convincing yourself and then convincing rest of the family members as well, because you alone are not going to stay alone over there. So whatever inputs you need, keep on chatting with me till the time you get the complete idea about all of the collective. And here I go and share this present next slide. If you are on your desktop, you'll be able to see. Just give me a minute what I'm sharing over here. Yeah. Okay. So what I have seen in case of my all the collectives, median age is 45. And at this point of time, people start to connect spiritually with the mother nature, not just the real estate. And that's where there are some shlokas which resonate with current community members, which resonates with me as well. So I'm just going to the mother nature, her power and her nourishing through the water and through all the five elements, which survive all kind of the living creatures, including human being, and it gives lots of abundance on the mother nature. And here comes Beforest, and this is the map which I'm going to refer in this conversation, which is map of Hyderabad. Why I'm taking reference of Hyderabad? Because Hyderabad, we have spent almost 5 years. And the map which you see keep on getting transformed every quarter based on the different interventions which we do. So this is the 135 acre of the area. And here we have the 3 zones. And if you're part of the WhatsApp group, you would be keep on noticing that I keep on emphasizing that we have the 3 zones, 4 framework, permaculture based sustainable collective. So whole of 135 acre land is available to you, curated as a collective based on the permaculture practices. And master key for all this collective is the sustainability on water, food, and power secure. So we are connected with the solar, electricity grid, and emergency usage of DG set. So I just broken the part of this. And I really want you to visualize that this is the residential cluster where you get your own plots. And this is about Hyderabad. I'll talk about Mumbai separately. But this format is applicable in Hyderabad, Coorg, and Bhopal. So just assume that you have your house in one of these plots with a cup of coffee or just empty hands. You go and walk toward the combined zone where we have the water body. We have the complete food forest where we are growing vegetables, grains, and the video which I was running of the Anderson guest house, which is getting constructed in Hyderabad. That's the whole view you see. So that is almost 20, almost 20, 30 acre of the land, which is part of the combined zone, which has the water bodies, fruit orchard, and the complete grain and vegetable zone. And it is thriving in case of Hyderabad right now. You keep on moving forward. And that's when you go in the wilderness zone where we have lots of trees, which are local wilderness. Whatever gap is there, we plant more trees. But generally, our landscape has the local wilderness. Like in case of Mumbai, in case of Bhopal, we have documented 106 species of trees. Similar numbers are available for Mumbai. So these become the silent zone or nature zone. And that's the experience I'm really inviting you to experience, that from your home, you come forward, you go to the water body, enjoy the water as a first element of the mother nature. and then enjoy the magic of the nature by giving the food which we are growing over there in the form of the food forest. And you go further, there you get different kind of birds, small animals like rabbits and all that, and really soak all the five elements of the nature on your body and soul. So this is the whole map which I was talking about, and that's what I really want to visualize. And that's what I was talking about, that walking from economic zone, which has the housing, you move to combined zone, which has the water body, and you move to wilderness zone. So whole of 135-acre landscape belongs to you experientially, and that is the case with the rest of the members as well, while you hold a small unit of the landscape and an individual plot in your name in any of the collective. So that's what I was talking about. So that's a visualization. And that is going to be focus of whole of the conversation today. But let me showcase some of the pictures from 18th and 19th September when I was there in Hyderabad with one of the visitors coming from Mumbai. Here you see we have created water body, which I was showing in the map, and we have created different water bodies. And this side, the movement of my mouse, which you see, as the food forest where we are growing the different kind of vegetables, grains, and then we have planted different kind of fruit trees. Fruit trees take some time. So right now we are getting papaya, banana, sitafal, like fruit trees which give the which comes with the bloom faster. But most of the local native seasonal fruit trees takes 5 to 7 years. But plantation is happening every monsoon. And why local native seasonal fruit trees, not grafted trees? Because they last longer for 70 to 90 years, while they start to bloom after a little longer duration. In the case of grafted fruit trees, they start to give the fruits within 2 3 years, but they last around 10 to 20 years. Chat GPT is there, Google is there, validate all these facts. So some pictures again, this is water body which we have created. Water sustainability is a mission critical activity. No farming activity can be done unless we have the water sustainability, because you don't want to exist on the water tanker. And most of the places in India are planing the land or cutting the plots, and that's where we are cutting the flow of the water. So no water doesn't have any place to go, and that's why you keep on hearing the news of flooding even in the villages also, because every inch of land is being proclaimed either for growing the food or building the house, thanks to so much population we have, which is an asset, but which is not that great asset for the nature as well. So here we leverage the land contour. So जो land का direction होता है land contour, we see the lowest point, we do the different water intervention, and accordingly we start to create the water body. In Hyderabad, this is 4 acres of the water body, which is 18 feet of depth, and it holds almost 6 crore liter water at the peak of the monsoon. This becomes the main source of water to feed the food forest. And not just this, we create different wells, different small ponds, and different water recharging point as well. And we have seen the impact. Like we are techies, as I was mentioning. So we deploy lots of technology to measure all the data instead of just feel good based on the picture. So based on the remote sensing technology, what we have documented that average temperature of this land has gone down by 4 degrees compared to nearby landscape. And reason is we have created water retention to a major extent across the major part of the collective, and we have enhanced the green cover of the land in the wilderness zone, in the food forest zone, and in the economic zone where residential cluster, there also we are planting lots of trees. Now, when somebody working backward, then obviously there is no other option but to have the more green, more pure, more pristine vision of nature, and land temperature goes down. An amazing side effect of that. When land temperature goes down, so it becomes the hotbed for thriving biodiversity. So earlier we used to have only 7 8 species of birds in the wilderness zone. Now it's a silent zone. No hunting happens because it is an area protected by Beforest. So they come over here, lots of water is there. So we have got multiple number of species of birds. They eat somewhere else, but in their excreta, undigested seeds happen to be here. So now from the 4th and 5th year onwards, while first 4 years we were in the wilderness zone, but from the 4th or 5th year onwards, all these birds were ambassador of Mother Earth. They start to put the seeds, and our exponential curve is on the visible performance to grow abundance little more better compared to whatever impact we have created in the initial years. So some more pictures from 18th and 19th September. In case of Hyderabad, we have glamping experience right now while we are constructing the guest house, which will be ready by this year end. We have the estate manager home, staff quarter also getting, it got constructed as an earth home. But if you want to come and stay, we have the 2 luxury tent glamping experience overlooking the water body. And it's a spiritual experience to be there, while it is amazing experience on the soul and body when you are there as part of the nature. I have some more videos. If you are interested, let me know. I'll share the Google folder in which all these videos are there. This is what I'm sitting there on the seeing the total view of the whole of the collective, especially on the food forest zone. On the right side of this picture is the wilderness zone, which is not part of this picture. On the left side of this picture, there are around 29 plots on the plain, and around 80 plots are here on the plateau of these rocks. Like in case of Hyderabad, you heard about Jubilee Hills, Banjara Hills, so rocks are part of this ecosystem as well. And it's a plateau with lots of soil, with lots of growth. So here we are creating houses, and the Anderson guest house, the video which I had shown a glimpse, that is also getting constructed on these heights itself. This is some pictures from the glamping experience, and amazing food created, cooked by my team over there. And this is the picture of the guest house. Now, this is not an overnight story. It takes almost 5 years. So when we acquired this land in 2019, this was the state of affairs over there. K category semi-barren land is the category which government has given to this based on the local ecosystem of their bureaucracy, and that was the landscape. In first 3 years, like there was corona time also and all that. So 2019 we took the land, but 2003 this is what we got transformed. So here lake was almost 4 to 6 feet of depth, and then we were having some part of food forest getting feed by that. So first we create water body, and accordingly we create the food forest zone. And here in this picture, this is from 2025. We grown lake further, and we grown food forest size also accordingly. As I told you, this is not overnight story. So lots of studies, lots of documentation happens. So whenever we acquire or whenever we lock any land, there are lots of studies which happens. Like here you see Beforest Phase 2 report, Beforest Flora, collective master plan, Hyderabad collective information, and revised zoning, sustainability, Hyderabad. So all the data is created, whatever is critical for that piece of land, including the quality of soil, water footprints, land contour, biodiversity, which comprise the number of insects, number of birds, number of surface level animals. So we put lots of camera trap, and we keep on documenting that every 6 months. And that's where we engage a relevant world-class experts, which I'm going to talk about as we move forward. So first year is focused only on the study of the landscape. Why? Because we don't want to dominate the land. Most of the real estate people dominate the land by planing the land, and they start to develop the curated kind of lab of nature. But here we thrive on the wilderness and as is way of nature. And that comes only when I understand her DNA on the land. So each landscape is different story for the forest. And that comes out of first 1 year study across all the 3 seasons. Now I'm going to take reference from the Bhopal map, because this is my recent, it's my baby project which just started last year. So last year when we did lots of studies across 3 seasons, based on that, my internal team and external team of consultants, they start to put the numbers and the visualization on the overall land. So in case of Bhopal, it is 122 acres of the land. So they create existing base map by understanding how the water flows, what is the land contour, all these parallel lines you see, what is the different area, what is being grown over there. So that is the kind of data get collected. This is part of mammoth size of report, but I'm showing you just a couple of reports to showcase that this is not real estate. This is really living in the lap of the nature. And when you really want to live in the lap of the nature, you got to understand what does it mean, how that land behaves. And accordingly, we start to work on the land. So first 3 years are dedicated only to water and nature, and we create some staff quarters and guest house only. 4th year is the year in which we start to construct your earth home individually owned by you in the economic zone. That's what we have. So these are the hydrology study, soil study, because when you have more than 100-acre land, in most of the cases, soil is not same. So these are the patches which you see is the categorization. Lots of laboratory test happens, and lots of documentation happens to the species of trees and survey number, which are part of that. We do the like legal impeccability of the due diligence also with the ecosystem. And that's where once that is done, then only we start to do all that studies. So some more And this is the final version of the map right now, which will keep on going transformation every quarter based on what we are doing and what kind of results are showing up. What we are doing and what kind of results are showing up. The way you saw the Hyderabad map, so you'll be able to see the similar map for this. Now, this is Mumbai map. There are a few people who are interested in Mumbai as well. So in case of Mumbai, here, all the, like this is 108 acre of the land, which you see over here. In this 100-acre land, there are different survey numbers. So what I was mentioning when I was showcasing the Hyderabad map, that is collective ownership is similar to Hyderabad, Bhopal, and Coorg. Their land can be owned under the collective ownership. So we register the land in the name of LLP. And when you come as a buyer or a member, you become partner in the LLP. So whole of the land is held by all of you collectively under the LLP. So when you see the land revenue records, you'll see land is registered in the name of LLP. And when you hold the document in your hand, then you'll see your name and you have a specific ownership in that LLP. That is the one ownership document. Second, within the LLP, then there will be economic zone. So residential plot will be allocated to you and that will be registered in your name individually under the Gram Panchayat rules or whatever competent authority is part of that ecosystem. So then you'll have the registration document on which earth home will be constructed by you. So these are the two documents you have. But that is case with these three collectives. In case of Mumbai, we have Satwara. People who are from Mumbai, they know that in Mumbai, land cannot be bought by anyone except the farmer who is human being or human being who is a farmer. So here, whatever land I'm getting it, I have to register the land in the name of individual members who have the agricultural certificate. So all these land parcels in the original survey number are registered in the name of individuals. But at the end of the day, I need common land to create three different zones. And that's where all the white areas which you see. So they keep these pink rectangles under their belt to construct their home and have a backyard. And rest of the white area, they give on lease to the farming society. And farming society has only members, not even the Beforest. So farming society is a mechanism to get all the land commonly pooled while people would be keeping some piece of land for construction of their earth home. So when we got the common pool of the land, so on the right side of the Mumbai map, you see that whole of the land is designed or defined in the three zones. So green color which you see is the wilderness zone. Magenta color which you see the food forest zone. Here we are creating water body, one water body. This is another water body and some more water bodies will be created as we move forward. This was the first monsoon which we had harvested in case of Mumbai. Here we have created the fruit orchard and so on. So as I told you, we'll get the special details in this step 2 second call. But this is to give you an idea that we have the three zones: economic zone, combined zone, and the wilderness zone. That is the experience you are getting to be part of collective in any other location by Beforest. This is my Himayala. I'm just skipping that because I think the whole of the idea has been deepened. This is my Coorg. The idea is same. Around 10% land is dedicated, not more than 10% land is dedicated to the construction part. And that's where also we engage Biome Solution, who are master architect to design the earth homes, which are uniquely designed for the local ecosystem based on the local climate data. So हर जगह का material palette अलग-अलग है. हर जगह पे जो हम घर के डिजाइन बनाते हैं, we are inspired by the local architecture because that is the traditional wisdom which any location has. Now this is about farming collective. So wherever we have the farming collective. Now Coorg is different. There I don't need to create water bodies. Lots of water is there. So there is use case that how to grow something with that much of water and how to grow the coffee as well in those landscapes. Now there are two templates of growing the coffee if somebody is here from the Coorg, but still I'll give some glimpse what kind of work we are doing. So coffee was grown just as a coffee plants over there under the British rulers because they wanted to extract as much as possible. But there is traditional way of growing coffee by local inhabitants. So they used to grow coffee under the lots of biodiversity. That's where soil strength remain as good as it is for a number of years. But in this case, in the British system, when they were growing only the coffee plants, it was extracting the whole of the soil strength. So these are the different use cases. These are the different intention out of which we work on any of the collective to really make it sustainable. So now whether it's Coorg or whether it's a farming collective, use case is different, intention is different, working is different, and we work accordingly with the help of experts In case of Coorg, we have the 3 collectives, which we can discuss in the individual call. Now, let's come to you. So most of the people who want to be part of the farmhouses or the nature part, generally, they have this complaint that cities are really becoming increasingly unlivable for various reasons. But then there are challenges of having sustainable small farm, which all of you know, so I'm not going in that detail. And then on top of that, there are many accountabilities as a family person to take care of the moving from small house to bigger home, taking care of the education of children, or taking care of the like aged parents from the medical fund perspective. So all those things comes in the picture, and that's where the whole idea of living नदी के किनारे आम के पेड़ के नीचे कोयल कूकती हो, वो आइडिया ना सपना ही रह जाता है। और जब तक रिटायर होते हैं तो उतनी स्ट्रेंथ नहीं बचती, तो फिर मन मार के शहर में रहना शुरू कर देते हैं। लेकिन कुछ लोग डेयरिंग करते हैं, कुछ लोग करेजियस होते हैं। सो देर आर 2 टेम्पलेट इन विच पीपल बाय द लैप ऑफ द नेचर. One is that people buy farmhouse and integrated project of farmhouses, better than city life, but it is more of expanded version of life of city life only. It doesn't give you that abundance. हाफ एकड़ ले लिया, उसमें 20-25 आपने पेड़ पौधे लगा लिए, थोड़ी सब्जी उगा ली, घर बना लिया, एंड वो शहर का ही वर्जन है, सराउंडेड बाय द गुड हिल्स एंड ऑल दैट, better than city life, but still doesn't give that abundance of experience of the nature the way I was talking about based on the Hyderabad map or the Bhopal map. तो लोग क्या करते हैं, सेकंड करते हैं कि चलो यार 2-4 एकड़ खुद की ले लेते हैं, अकेले या विद द कपल ऑफ फ्रेंड्स. उसकी अलग ही चैलेंजेस है. टू गेट द वर्किंग कनेक्शन ऑफ वाटर, सीवेज, इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इज वेरी चैलेंजिंग जॉब ऑन गोइंगली. एंड शुरुआत कहाँ से होती है? लीगल इम्पेकेबिलिटी ऑफ द लैंड, बिकॉज गाँव में बहुत सारा लैंड गेट स्वैप्ड. So you're not able to see whether land belongs to person A or person B. On document, it may belong to person B, but they would have swapped that land to create the pool of the land for the easy farming, maybe 2 generations back. So you buy land from person A, and when you go to take possession of the land, person B comes with his kulhari. And I'm not exaggerating. I got some of the stories from few of the people who come and have a conversation with me. In fact, we have a committee of almost 225 members across all the 4 collectives right now. Out of them, almost 80 people hold the individual landscape as well, where they started to fulfill their dream by owning a land or owning a farmhouse in a gated project of farmhouses. Most of these cases comes from Bhopal and Hyderabad and Bangalore as well. And ये problem को आती है, so that's why they abandon whole of the idea of owning a farmhouse. वो कहते हैं सिटी में ठीक है यार, अब देखेंगे बाद में कब करना है. But people who take daring, उनको एक romantic notion है, and I don't want you to come in any of the collective or even going for farmhouse also. I want you to have the 360-degree view, because when we read the media, when we see some documentary or the Netflix, we get एकदम excited that I'm going to have fresh food, abundant water bodies are going to be there, I'm going to have slow life, cultural celebrations are happening, you are having bonfire. जिनको गिटार बजाने का शौक है, कॉलेज में बजाते थे, फिर भूल गए तो दोबारा बजाने का मौका मिलेगा. And you have the opportunity to chase 4-hour work week if that is possible. As soon as you get in any of these community, the whole idea come crash to the ground. And these are the stories which are coming from my existing member and which come from many people who did not become my member for different reasons. But these are the real stories which I am referring, while there are some good stories as well. Like one of my friend who was general manager with Reliance Digital, and his wife was with the ICICI Bank in our team as DGM. They have taken 5 acres in Karjat and they moved completely. So farming is not a hobby, a weekend hobby. So they move completely by leaving the corporate life. Now they are doing good. So initial years some challenges, but they are doing good because they become part of the land over there. But people told them that they are crazy, the kind of step they have taken, but they have done well. So if you have that kind of bandwidth, that kind of mindset, you can go for your own land. Otherwise, managing 1 foot in the city and 1 foot in the remote location is not your cup of tea. Please don't go for that. Whether you become a member here in the Beforest ecosystem or not, but don't own the land independently unless you have that kind of wherewithal, that kind of factors which I am just mentioning about. And Karela upar se neem chada. Most of the farming are deficit businesses. Even the small farmers are making around 9% of the deficit. It means they invest 100 rupees and they get 91 rupees of the worth. And that is the case with the farmhouse as well. So you are not making any money. Every month you are putting money as the investment, but आपको बुरा नहीं लगता because you are getting lots of things which is pure. You are growing your own food. इतना food भी नहीं है कि which you can monetize. So what happens? You can't take a truck and sell the produce in the mandi because truck का किराया ही ज्यादा हो जाता है. अगर 50 किलो 100 किलो टमाटर निकल भी गए, so what do? You start to distribute that with your neighbors, friends, family members, extended family members, and it's a feel-good factor. The point is, you are investing money, you are spending money, you are not getting money outcome. And here, in case of collective, when we talk about the larger landscape, we are targeting financial sustainability as well. And I'll unfold that as we move forward. So none of these templates give the fulfillment. The two templates which we have discussed. Here comes Beforest. So what we are doing at the Beforest? So we are facilitating sustainable permaculture-based collectives. Sustainable, we know permaculture is permanent agriculture. So no artificial enhancers are being used, no chemical, no fertilizer. The way traditional farming used to happen long time back. अब तो गांव में भी नहीं होती है. वो उसको वापस ला रहे हैं और अभी बड़े सारे एक्सपर्ट हैं जो उसको कर रहे हैं डिफरेंट रूरल लोकेशंस पे. बट ईल्ड कम हो जाता है, सो इसकी एडोप्टिविटी बड़ी लो है, बट लॉन्ग टर्म में वही हमारी मदर नेचर को बचाएगा. एंड कलेक्टिव इज कलेक्शन ऑफ पीपल कमिंग टुगेदर. And here we are creating space for food, water, power secure while you have your own individual home. These are the footprints which we have. Now question may come, yaar, ho kaun tum log? What are you doing? You people are not from real estate background. So what kind of people you have in your team? So it started with Sudhit Reddy. He is our visionary person who had this seed thought when we all were in Mumbai. And Shaurya Chandra tagged along. Then I also came after a couple of years. So we are the eco-nuts, nature buffs, conservationists, enthusiasts. We started with this whole idea in Hyderabad. Why Hyderabad? Because it's a home ground for Sunit and there was some family land. And that's how our first collective in Hyderabad start to get worked upon. And many people from the close circle, friends or family, they joined initially. And as soon as more word is spread out, then whole of the 135 acre was subscribed by 2022. Otherwise, idea was that out of 135 acre, can we create a collective of around 35 to 40 acre. But मैं अकेला ही चल रहा था जाने में मंजिल मगर लोग आते गए कारवां बनता गया. So that is a true thing on Sunit Reddy. So while कारवां बनता गया, so obviously then we had to do lots of things except the making the house, because as you would have seen that making the house is just one of the aspect of whole of the collective. So then on the nature side, we needed anthropologists to understand what kind of living creatures we have. We needed social scientists because we don't want to be foreign elements coming in the cars over there and not bothered about the local ecosystem. Alibag in Mumbai and many other places, you would have heard the story that how people get theft, attacked in the remote locations. Why? Because they are seeing somebody coming as a foreign element, some rich person, and not aligning with the local ecosystem. That's what we do. We do lots of activities on the women education, girl child education and women hygiene, and we align with them for their larger community-based setups. Like in the case of temple, festivities, school, dispensary, we do lots of stuff which really empower them, enable them, enrich them. And then we have the ecological designers who work as a biodiversity expert or permaculture expert. So we have the United Designer, which is based in USA. They are working across 200 countries. In India also, they are working with different state government to rejuvenate the landscapes. And then we have the biodiversity expert. There is Shekhar Kolipaka from Kolipaka Foundation. He's an NRI from Maharashtra and now citizen of Sweden and doing incredible work on the canvas of world biodiversity. So these are the people we have. Then we have the community engagement specialists. So when you become member, you're not lost. We work hand in glove with all the community members. And the kind of community members we have, obviously that need to be done. So as soon as you become member, you become part of the WhatsApp group in which leadership is there from Beforest, and there are relevant people who are available to you because community में तो ऐसे ही होता है. बेच के निकलना हो तो फिर नहीं करते सारी चीजें. And on top of that, any of the land, any of the collective which we are developing, we hold almost 10% of the land under the name of Beforest. We may or may not become part of the LLP or the farming society. Why we do that? Because we understand and we are mindful of the concept that these are the unique segments. If we sell and disappear, even after 5 years, 10 years, it may be very difficult to keep on working on this. So we want to be there, we want to make it successful. And as we have been evolving, so Coorg और Hyderabad में हमने नहीं किया था पहले collective में, but now in all the collectives, whether in Mumbai, Bhopal, Pumale 2.0 and Hamiala, we are keeping some land where we'll create guest house, we'll create our management guest house, we'll create our staff quarters, so that whole team is there to keep on working on the whole of the ecosystem perennially. So जीवन पर्यंत आपके साथ ही रहने वाले हैं to be part of the story. So what I'm saying here will be part of MOU, and it's not that sell and disappear. It means I'm going to be there. Most of the people in our collective are in the median age of 45. It means they are not going to stay there permanently right now. They may wait for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, because some people are at the 58, 60 also, some people are 38, 39 also. Median age is 45 to 50. So when you come on any weekend or any extended holiday, you are not alone over there, because there is almost 50, 60 member team. On the payroll, around 20-member team, and at any point of time to take care of the whole of the estate, there are laborers, agricultural laborers, which is the pool of migrant labor or local nearby villages laborers, or some people who are trained from the local villages to be part of hospitality, to be part of the managerial. So that ecosystem is there, you are not left alone. So that is another thing. And then for any licensing for your own grocery, medical help, or any kind of help, the whole ecosystem would be created, while we'll be taking care of all of the collective beyond bought, build, operate, transfer to you as the ownership, but we become your partner, we become your vendor, or you can say I become your CEO. So company, LLP or farming society is owned by n number of people like you. You engage me once I deliver it. कि भाई तुम ही लोग करो. So I become your CEO. For annual operating plan, I seek your approval. Once I get the approval, then you give the free hand to me. कि जाओ काम करो. At the end of year, I'll evaluate your performance. And that's how the whole mechanism of taking care of the collective keep on working. So while rights are with you of the ownership, I work there, and मेरा existence इसके लिए है कि मुझे successful करना है. So I'll keep on doing the best maintenance of all that. So these are the two amazing people who have been my friends also for last almost 15 years, and part of the Beforest now. And Beforest had been picked up by Stanford Seed Incubation Lab also, where we had been given lots of knowledge, wisdom, information, and training by them that how to keep ourselves also sustainable. So it was 9 months course which we have taken over there, and vision, mission, key pointers. So lots of clarity came from the corporate wisdom at the global level. So that is the kind of wisdom we are also getting. We are getting noticed, and we are getting incubated by the powerful forces in the corporate world to help us to be sustainable. These are the partners, as I was mentioning. So Earth Homes, Biome Solution, Kolipaka Consulting, and Permaculture. And whatever produce comes, we are not master of that, but we know how to create amazing teams. So like in case of Coor, we are growing coffee. Now we are not coffee person. So what we do? So we have engaged one of the great consultant, Gitu Monani. You can Google. She has worked with Barista, Coffee Day, and now she is working as an independent consultant for the different coffee. So many coffee brands are coming now in India, and she's our consultant as well. So she helps us to grow coffee, to give her inputs, and best part that she helps us to process, market, and create different recipes. Why? Because we want to create a niche, loyal customer base. Second, we want to monetize to the maximum whatever we are growing, so that whatever value comes, that get back added to the financials of the intended collective. Same case in the farming collective as well. While we grow vegetables, grains, and all that, which is way beyond what community will consume. So first right of consumption lies with the community members. But हैदराबाद, जैसे हैदराबाद में 90 लोगों की कम्युनिटी है, मुंबई में 41 लोगों की कम्युनिटी है, भोपाल में 25 लोगों की कम्युनिटी है. So we get food which is way beyond what these 41 families or 25 families can consume. So we process that also. आम आ रहा है तो उसका मुरब्बा, sorry, मुरब्बा तो उसका बनता है, नाम ही भूल गया मैं, आंवला मुरब्बा, आम का अचार, chutney, and all that we make it. And we are creating a brand also under the sister concern named Be Wild. Why? Because we want to create a brand, we want to create better monetization, and that's where I was talking about financial sustainability. So we'll start to get some revenue out of these produce monetization. And we also know that just by selling the natural produce will not achieve the kind of expenses which happens, will not achieve the revenue which will meet the expenses. So we are relying on hospitality as well. Like if you are part of the WhatsApp group, you would have got one message today that we are creating fungi curated experience in Coorg. So when we have these kind of landscapes, we do lots of hospitality activities at the niche level. We don't have more than 12 families or 14 families because master key is sustainability. Even on finance also, we are not chasing commercialization. We are chasing that moment of needle where we are able to get the money plus some delta, which will be able to take care of the expenses. But that doesn't happen overnight. So what we have done in all the pricing of all the collectives, we have included element of maintenance money also for first 10 years from the year zero. Now, whether you come in year 3, year 4, but you are tagged to that cap. So like in case of Bhopal, 2024 तक का जो maintenance fund है, that is included. If you come right now, 2024 तक का ही है. If you come after 2 years, 2024 तक का ही है. Because आप member बने या नहीं बने, आपके absence में काम तो होना शुरू हो ही गया. But वो already included है. And within 8-9 years, we should be able to achieve the financial sustainability based on these stream of income which I just mentioned. That is our calculation which has been showing up. And post that, we should not get the need of taking money from you in the name of maintenance fund. But one word of caution, it's nature. So if there is some act of God at some point of time, which may happen, like the way Corona happened, salary has to be paid and all that. So let's assume that there is some deficit. In that case, who's going to foot the bill? Well, while we are not able to make the revenue intended in the like 2020, many people got impacted by that. So in that case, you are the owner. So whatever deficit will be there, it will come to you. So it's not completely maintenance free in that way, but that is very rare possibility. Okay. So there are different kind of curated experience, cultural celebrations. And if you go on our website, you'll be able to get the different events which are being curated and lined up to February 2026. And these are some of the events which has been created. So out of this, people come and stay in the guest house. These are generally 2 nights, 3 days immersive experiences. Right now, I have the guest house in case of Kur, and I have the glamping experience and sometimes in case of Hyderabad. So people come over there, they stay, and some money is made. Now, let's say we are charging 100 rupees. So out of that 100 rupees, expenses are out. Then management fee, because we engage a hospitality company, we are not master of that. As I told you, we create amazing team. So hospitality team is engaged, their fees done. Then whatever other expenses they are done, and that is done authentically, transparently with the collective members. Then whatever net revenue comes, that get added into the financials of that collective, specific to that collective. This is one part. Now, what we are visualizing once your houses are built, and I was mentioning that median age is 45. So let's say आपका घर अभी 12 महीने में करीब 9 महीने खाली रहता है. 3 महीने आप आते हो वीकेंड पे, बाकी टाइम पे या किसी फ्रेंड को भेज दिया, फैमिली को भेज दिया, 9 महीने खाली रहता है. Then you have option to opt in to be part of this hospitality program where you can attach your home based on the inventory available. So again, same formula will work. That will be frozen in consultation with the community members, and community has the oversight on all the data. भाई कितने दिन occupy हुआ, क्या हुआ, and खाली बस ये है कि मान लो 25 घर बने और 5 घर हॉस्पिटल में ऑप्ट इन हुए, तो जो भी पैसा आएगा वो 5 घर में डिवाइड होगा. वी डोंट वांट टू हैव दैट प्रॉब्लम. यार सौरभ का घर आप हर बार दे देते हो, बट चंचल का घर आप दे ही नहीं रहे हो किराए पे बिल्कुल भी. सो विल क्रिएट दैट पूल डिपेंडिंग ऑन, जैसे होटल में भी होता है कि 100 रूम्स है, 68 रूम्स चढ़े, बट होटल का पूरा जो पीएनएल है वहां से होता है. सो वॉट एवर एक्टिविटी वी डू एट द कलेक्टिव लेवल, एंड दैट्स वेयर वी डोंट permit individual listing of your house on Airbnb or other places. Why? Because one, we want to create the branded experience, consistent experience with the hospitality team, and people who are coming, they are not coming for somebody's home. They are coming for that collective to get that kind of immersive experience. So that's what we are doing. Now, why collective? यार आइडिया तो अच्छा है तो हम कर ही लेते हैं किसी के साथ, लेकिन होता नहीं है. क्यों नहीं होता है? बिकॉज जैसा मैंने बताया कि स्टडीज करते हैं तो एक कॉमन एजेंडा निर्धारित हो जाता है उसके बेस पर कि जमीन क्या कर रही है वहाँ की. तो जो हैदराबाद और जो भोपाल और जो मुंबई की लैंड है, वी डिसाइड द कॉमन एजेंडा बेस्ड ऑन द काइंड ऑफ डेटा वी गेट कलेक्टेड. जो कूर का है, कूर कॉफी एस्टेट एंड वाइल्डनेस हो जाता है. एंड देन वॉट एवर एक्टिविटीज वी डू, वी आर एबल टू गेट द एक्सपोनेंशियल गेन्स ऑन ए साइज ऑफ more than 100 acres of land. Per unit cost comes lower on the expenses, and we are able to get the bright professionals working in the different coffee estate, tea estate, who are really passionate about working on the nature. And third, whatever risk is faced by you as an individual by owning the farmhouse or by the farmer, that is also going to be faced by us as a collective. But here, if it is a money related risk, like we have to pay some consultant, then per unit cost goes very low. it get distributed across all the members if that happens in future. Like in case of Kur, we were facing problem to grow vegetables. United Permaculture was not able to crack the code. So we engaged another consultant, Kili Chandama. She is one of the permaculture consultant in the Goa Konkan area, which is heavy rains area. We hired her, paid lots of money, but then based on her intervention, we started to move the needle and start to grow vegetables because बड़ा मुश्किल होता है वहाँ पे. So some artificial way of organic food was created, permaculture based food was created, no chemical fertilizer, but some intervention was given by her. So now whatever cost is there, right now we absorb, but let's say this kind of problem comes after 20 years. So 20 people, 40 people or 25 people would be able to pay 25 lakh rupees, 50 lakh rupees, and it comes as a small per unit cost impact, which may be taken out of the revenue which we are making. But if you face that problem at the individual level, the whole idea of owning a farmhouse may go out of the window. And for the inspiration, now agriculture is a domain where inspiration comes initially in abundance, but slowly it starts to go towards south side because so many challenges are there in the form of different factors. In a group, inspiration is always there. Pareto rule hai. Comes from 20% people are always excited, always happy, always inspired, and with their help, you are able to sort out any of the issue. So that's the advantage of being part of the collective. Now, when we are working on the different collective, so my team has evolved. When they see any mango seed, when you see it, what do you see? You may see good season चला गया, अगले season में खाएंगे, दशहरी लग रहा है, चुसा हुआ आम है. But my team start to see that how to nurture it to create an abundance mango on a full-blown bloomed tree. Or they see an egg, they like symbolism language. They see egg and they understand the DNA of the egg, and then they are able to nurture it so that a peacock kind of beautiful bird takes birth out of that. Same thing we do with the landscape. Like in case of Hyderabad, this was the land. We understood the DNA of the land. We nurtured it. And then middle picture is from 2023. Right side picture is from 2025. And I was mentioning that it's a marathon. It takes almost 5 years. First 3 years, we focus only on the water, nature. And we have the stock waters and all that. Fourth year is the time where you get the water, you get the produce. That's where it makes sense to build your home. That's where when you go out of the home, you can pluck your fruits, vegetables, on the go, you can go in the तभी मजा आना है ना. नहीं तो घर तुम पहले साल में बना सकते हैं और टैंकर लगा सकते हैं शुरू के 3 साल. It doesn't create the sustainability. So चौथे साल में घर बनते हैं. In case of Mumbai, we are starting construction from January 2026. In case of Hyderabad, we are starting construction again in the January 2026. In case of Kur, construction already going on. In fact, on this Diwali, many of the people are doing the Grah Pravesh Puja in the first collective. And in case of Bhopal, construction will be started in 2027. So these are the timelines. These are the water maps which you see. These are the food forest map. So we measure each inch of the land of the food forest zone so that we see the impact of whatever we are growing. And accordingly, if some intervention is required, then that intervention is taken care of. We do lots of activities to enhance the green cover by creating swales. And 100-acre wale land में ना ये आनंद आया था कि all the 5 elements are in the purest form. Watching the sunset or sunrise is a spiritual phenomena from these landscape, which you would have experienced when you would have gone to some hill or some holidays. And the star gazing is a like norm every day because you don't have sound pollution, you don't have light pollution. Air pollution is also at the minimum in that kind of 100-acre or 135-acre of the land. And that's where you are able to see these kind of skies. Biodiversity in the form of birds is amazing. सनराइज से आधा घंटा पहले इतनी चिड़ियाओं की आवाज आती है. शहरों में भी होती है, गौरैया और कुछ कुछ लोग हैं जो ग्रीन जोन में रहते हैं, भोपाल में और बैंगलोर में. बट हियर द डाइवर्सिटी ऑफ द स्पीशीज ऑफ नंबर ऑफ बर्ड्स is incredibly huge, and that's why you are able to experience, and that's where it becomes amazing experience for the family as well, because children get glued to ये बर्ड कौन सी है, ये कौन सी आवाज आ रही है, ये पेड़ कौन सा है, ये इंसेक्ट कौन सा है. So they start to go beyond the screen, and obviously that is true for us adults as well. नहीं तो हमारे लिए चिड़िया चिड़िया है, कीट कीट है. और अगर आप if you are following us on the Instagram, you would be able to see the kind of number of species of the birds, insects, animals which we have been sharing across the collectives. It says a lot about the miracle of Mother Nature. Amazing pictures which we see almost every day. This is water body. This is the wilderness zone, and these are the like different pictures which I have taken from my Android camera of just 12,000 rupees. Now you may say, यार लोग किस टाइप के आते हैं ये तो बता दो कम से कम. So generally people who are persona of the farmer, those are the people who have done well in their life. Tabhi it makes sense that you have taken your 1 BHK, 2 BHK, 3 BHK, that level. You have taken care of the education fund of your children. You have taken care of your retirement funds as well. And that's why you say, yeah, let's stay in the lap of the nature. And that you do it. That reflects in the person of the people. I am giving these names because I got the consent from this name, but this is not limited to these people. So generally people are CXOs, they are entrepreneurs, they run the businesses, they are from the senior leadership of the PSUs or government bureaucracy, and they are the doctors and people from IT sector and all that. But point is that Maslow theory पे they are at least at the level 4, जहाँ पे सारा नीचे के जो लेवल 4 हैं वो सारे हो गए, और कुछ लोग ऐसे भी जो लेवल 5 पे पहुंच गए हैं. पीपल आर देयर हु आर रीडिंग अष्टावक्र हु आर डूइंग वेदांता, who are highly spiritually connected and still working with the corporates. That's a kind of community you get to really engage in the conversation when you become part of the collective. This is screenshot from Biome Solution. You can go and visit their website. They are doing amazing work. This is our guest house, which was developed by them, like constructed by them. It has featured in many of the magazines. It has been covered by many of the social media influencers as well. And that's where I really recommend you to follow us on the Instagram so that you can see or watch whenever you want to see. So this is the, on the left side is the guest house from Coorg. On the right side is the glamping experience from the Hyderabad. That's a kind of experience you get. If you search us on the print media, you'll get, we have been covered by lots of print media, electronic media, podcasters, all that. So why Beforest? Because one, we are trusted partner in the journey. हमारा जन्म इसलिए हुआ है, मतलब we exist because of this. Now we have been banker, we have been techies and all that, but now we are committed to this whole idea for last almost 6 years. So we are trusted partner in the journey. ऊंच नीच नेचर की आती है, but we are going to address all that. कभी ज्यादा बारिश हो गई, कभी सूखा पड़ गया, जो भी होगा, जो भी होता है नेचर में, that will take care. So we are trusted partner, and what I commit as a Beforest, that while I don't commit any ROI, like many people ask, यार हर साल पैसा कितना बनेगा? नहीं बनेगा, 10 साल तो बनेगा ही नहीं. इसीलिए हमने जो मेंटेनेंस फंड है उसको हमने प्राइसिंग में इंक्लूड कर लिया है. पर जो थोड़ा थोड़ा बनेगा मोनेटाइज करते करते, वो इट विल बी गेट एडेड इनटू LLP और द फार्मिंग सोसाइटी, but don't come here for the recurring income. Although capital appreciation happens in a big way, like in case of Hyderabad, it has gone to 10 times. First unit which was sold and the last unit which was sold in 2022. But that is exception. जमीन आप वैसे भी खरीदो तो 5 साल में 3 गुनी तो हो जाती है, तो 10 टाइम्स में कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. लेकिन इन केस ऑफ कूर्ग जमीन हमारा जो प्राइस है दैट हैज गॉन टू 2.7 टाइम्स. तो वहां का डेटा हुआ है. मुंबई केस में ऑलमोस्ट 1.8 टाइम्स हुआ है अभी पिछले 3 साल में. Capital appreciation happen, but don't come out of these kind of appreciation, this kind of investor thing. But why I'm sharing this data, that this is an asset which you pass as an inheritance to next generation, and this is an asset which will give you good returns. You will not regret. क्या लाइफस्टाइल तो बड़ा अच्छा था, लेकिन जब बेचने गए तो कुछ मिला नहीं वहां, वो नहीं होगा. लाइफस्टाइल भी बहुत सर्वोत्तम कोटि का होगा, और जब आपको 20, 30, 40 साल बाद बेचना पड़ा बिकॉज बच्चे NRI बन गए, वो चले गए, उनका इंटरेस्ट नहीं है, then this is an asset which is like a gold which will give you great capital appreciation, but don't come for that right now. So come here as a lifetime commitment, because this is the community which we are building. And from the 3 zones, then I keep on mentioning about 4 returns. So we are not just grounded into the financial returns, also we are trying, or we are attempting, or we are doing the different things to create the financial break-evenness. That is the bottom written over here. But we are also grounded into the inspiration which we measure with the qualitative tools. We are also measure our contribution in the social phenomena. We are making lots of difference to the local village ecosystem. As I mentioned, we do the lots of activities. And whenever we are creating these collectives, it brings their economy to some level. Because जो local youth है, we train them to become supervisor, hospitality, to run the JCB, to run the tractors, and many activities which are required. For the women, we are the equal pay master, so we are in their goodwill also. So all those kind of things we do, all those kind of opportunities are provided, and they are part of our ecosystem. And natural, तो जैसे बताया है, हैदराबाद का पूरा impact study है, which I'll be able to showcase as a glimpse over here, where we have seen the enrichment of the green cover, 4-degree temperature lower compared to the nearby landscapes, water bodies, and all that. Now, opportunity for you to play the custodian. Just visualize, after 10 years, 15 years, these kind of landscapes are going to be premium assets, not from the appreciation perspective, जो तो होगा ही होगा, but 122 acre in Bhopal, 135 acre in Hyderabad, or 108 acre, which may go up to 208 acre, which we have been telling from the day one. In case of Mumbai, we are adding another 100 acre, 208 acre in Mumbai. So you play the custodian for a sustainable landscape with the community of like-minded people. Second, there is joy of making. When you observe the water body, when you observe how food grows every day, when you observe the living creatures in the form of birds and insects and all that, it's an experience which no words can describe, that you also only need to discover for yourself. And that's where, irrespective of whether you become part of the collective at this moment or not, because many variables are there to make that decision, spend a couple of nights in Coorg and Hyderabad, where we have the running guest houses, and discover for yourself. And by the next year end, we'll have the guest house in case of Mumbai as well. So spend a couple of nights in 122 acre of the landscape, complete silence. By the 9:30, lights are off, no artificial light around, no sound is there except the sound of silence of the forest. And morning you wake up with the chirping sound of birds, you go on the walk. It's a different kind of experience. Experience that. This is my strong recommendation. Here I'll not intrude you much. कि खरीदो खरीदो खरीदो. But there I can keep on intruding to say कि भैया साल में 2 बार तो आप रह के आओ और बच्चों के साथ रह के आओ. And obviously you'll be part of the conservation story of these private landscapes. And here it's not that we are acting like some builder and then okay, I'm delivering to you all. No, no, no. We are part of the ecosystem where we act like a friend, philosopher, guides, and that's where every month we have the newsletter. Every quarter, earlier we used to do Zoom meeting for the meetings. Now we do the meeting on the site so that वो opportunity हो जाती है लोगों के लिए site पे आने की. अभी last Sunday हमारी मुंबई की meeting हुई थी जहाँ पे we have shared the maps, material palette so that construction can be started. In case of Bhopal also, we'll be starting these meetings soon as we build the seed community, which is 25% of the strength of the overall projection. और ये मैं बता रहा था कि जो सब्जियां आती हैं उसको हम बी वाइल्ड के अंतर्गत डिफरेंट ऑर्गेनिक स्टोर्स को डिफरेंट जगह पे उनको सेल करते हैं आफ्टर यू कंज्यूम. सो फर्स्ट राइट ऑफ कंजप्शन लाइज विद द कम्युनिटी मेंबर्स एंड देन दिस takes back some money in the good luck of the collective. So this was first day. This was the generic idea. Now, just digest this information as a very high level philosophy. In the second call, if it resonates with you, have a conversation with me where I'll deepen whole of the distinction which I shared over here and will open all the nut bolts of the whole of the story. And that may take 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour. You want to involve a father, you want to involve a spouse, you want to involve some friend. Feel free to do that. We may have 3-4 conversations. Then post that when you have all that information also available, where you get the documentation, ownership documentation, draft, and all the concerns are addressed. Then it's a decision time, and that's where payment plan can be shared right now also, or tomorrow morning when you need it, so that if you want to qualify कि यार मुझे ये तो बता दो कि मेरी जेब पे ये भारी पड़ने वाला है, हल्का पड़ने वाला है, so I can share some of the numbers right now. But because like in case of Coorg, in case of Mumbai, there are some different opportunities also available. So that's what I'm saying. Ask me specific questions and I'll give you those offerings. But I'll share the payment numbers right now. This is the material. This is the house design, Earth Home by Biome Solution in Mumbai, which I proposed, which has been shared with the Mumbai community on last Sunday. And they are in the process to approve whatever house design they are looking for themselves. We have the complete material palette, which has been shared by them. That's also we have shared with the members. So अभी अक्टूबर नवंबर में ये लोग अप्रूव करना शुरू कर देंगे और बाय जनवरी विल स्टार्ट द कंस्ट्रक्शन इन केस ऑफ मुंबई, बिकॉज वहाँ 41 स्ट्रेंथ में करीब 32 मेंबर्स ऑलरेडी ऑन बोर्ड हो चुके हैं. और अभी नवरात्रि में, दशहरे में, दिवाली में आई सी दैट we should be able to fully subscribe this, because that's the season where people take most of the decision to buy the larger these kind of lifestyle decisions. The picture which you see here is the guest house from Coorg. Now, don't expect that this kind of rainforest can be replicated in any of the collective, because Coorg तो भैया अलग ही है. So जो वहाँ की greenery है वो अलग ही है. And that's what I was saying कि आप वहाँ जाकर रुको एक बार, enjoy करो. Whether you can put capital here or you can go on the rent, that's the choice. But Coorg एक बार तो जाना बनता है. So these are the kind of construction which you have done in Coorg for the staff quarters. These are the earth home, red laterite bricks, and these are the private houses of members who are part of our community. ये पुरानी pictures हैं. मैं आपको बोल रहा था दिवाली पे गृह प्रवेश पूजाएं हो रही है. So I'll be if you're part of the WhatsApp group, I'll be able to share those pics. But if you don't resonate anymore, exit from the WhatsApp group, but keep on following us on Instagram so that you keep on watching these photographs as long as you want. So these will be shared. And this is, all these pictures are from Coorg. This is Hyderabad. So Hyderabad, 135 acre is on the top of the hill. That's the picture which I was showcasing. And then we have got this external exclusive access road of acquiring 1.5 acre land, while we have another road from village as well. And another 300 acre is also coming here as a next collective adjacent to this, for which we have been doing legal due diligence for last 2 years, which got completed now. You had it right. It takes that another time because we have to sift through all the documents. We have to talk to people in the village. We have to interview people so that if there is some verbal agreement happening beside the all those things we take care. It takes time, so we take time. We don't want to cut any corners. And these are some of the houses, staff quarters, which are constructed in case of Hyderabad. And this is the guest house picture, which I was sharing a video as well earlier. Now, these are some of the slides I was talking about, and really proud of that, the kind of impact which we have made. So lots of technology which we have deployed, and we documented the data based on what really is measured with the help of technology. So when I was mentioning 4-degree lower temperature, green enriched cover, number of species of birds has been increased, all that is documented with accuracy and with technology. And that's where I end this presentation. And I really thank each one of you to be part of this session for almost now 70 minutes or 65 minutes. So thank you very much. If you have any question, please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your question. Hemant, Saurabh, Shailendra, Mukund, good to see you. I think Om is also from your family, right? Mukund? Yeah. Chanchal, thank you. AKS,